All right, here we go. Go Sports Radio. Here with you live from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach. On the island. On a, you know what it is. It's a Doors Open Thursday. It's a Doors Open Thursday. A Doors Open Thursday down here at Borrelli's. It's got like a touch of wind, but man, it just feels so good. It's just amazing. Look at that. Paulie getting on the board. It's just right there, right there. It's right there in front of us, as Aaron Boone would say. It's all right in front of us, and it really actually feels like it's all right there in front of us. We're after Memorial Day weekend. June is coming right around the corner, and we are ready to go. With the Doors Open Thursday, the Porky's truck driving by. It's all just happening for us right here down at Borrelli's. We have a lot to do today.
That was a great movie.
The Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals.
Woo-hoo!
The first time since 1999.
Go New York, go New York,
in
go.
a blowout sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. As I usually say, Tommy, thank you very much. A smash job over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Thank you, Tommy. Tommy's got our beers
For us here.
Beers. Cheers.
We have the Yankees and the Mets.
Instead of Knicks going to the finals.
Knicks to the
How about
finals.
that?
And normally I wouldn't do that, but this is, as we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, this is a Knick team I can root for because they have so many likable guys on the team. I can get behind this Knick team. We have that. We have Mets and Yankees. The Mets won a game last night. So that's maybe cause for celebration for some people as well. So we'll discuss a little bit of that. The Stanley Cup playoffs, and get ready. Vegas, Carolina, game 1 Tuesday night. in Raleigh, it is on for the Knights and the Hurricanes. Yes, the Canes got to win one more game, but they will tomorrow. And it'll be over in 5, and you'll get what I think will be a really fun Stanley Cup final.
Think it's going to be fun?
I do.
No,
I think it's going to be fun, especially when Vegas wins. It's going to be fun. A really fun Stanley Cup final. We have a few other things we'll discuss as well along the way. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Happy Thursday. Happy almost the weekend.
Happy almost.
Great to be down here at Borrelli's. Apologize to everybody who was trying to tune in yesterday. We couldn't do the show yesterday, but we're back.
That happens.
Back here today. And it's beautiful here down in Long Beach. This is it. This is the breeze, the sun, the beaches. It's all good stuff. And, man, since we were last here, quite a lot has happened, my friend.
Quite a lot has happened.
Quite a lot has happened.
Well, look, I told you that this is one of these. I said it.
You the man. You the man. You the man.
I said that the Knicks were going to smash Cleveland and that it was over. It was done with. It was a sweep. And I mean, they got on them and they just kept beating them. I mean, it was finished. As soon as they lost that first game, it was finished. And as the games went on, the blowouts got bigger. And they just, even when the games got to Cleveland over the weekend, you know, you had the Saturday night game where they took over in the second half and smashed them. And they did what they've been doing this entire playoff, which is, and I believe they finished now with 4, 8, 9, 10. They have 11 straight wins heading into the NBA Finals.
Monsters.
And the one biggest theme I felt with all of those wins is at some point in every game, they go on like this, 18-0, 22-4, like these runs, and they just tidal wave the other team. In this case, the Cavs or the Sixers or the Hawks are the 3 teams that they played. And the other team just cannot respond, and they can't recover. And give him a ton of credit. I give Brown credit because that's been another thing. Would this have happened if Tibbs was here? You know, you can't say that because he would have ran the team a little bit differently. Brown's done a good job putting the pieces where they are. I still go back to the moment down 2-1 against Atlanta where they were like, all right, let's run some more stuff through Cat down low. And that's been a big catalyst to what they've done. Brunson, when he needs to, he's been unbelievable. I mean, he hasn't played the fourth quarter in all these closeout games because they hasn't needed to. I mean, they were getting threes from Shamet the other night, Deuce McBride, everybody. I mean, just everybody piling on. Even in the blowout, Tyler Kolek, our boy from down here at Borrelli's, goes in and he hits a bunch of threes. It's amazing the run that they are on right now. And I'm ready. You know, we'll talk about who they're going to play, which we might know tonight. Depending on the outcome of the Spurs Thunder game, but incredible run for the first time since 1999. Paulie, they're back in the big show with a chance to win a championship.
Where did these last 26, 27 years go? I mean, when you sit back and you think about how long it's been since the Knicks have been in the finals, and I guess if you're not really focusing or paying attention, or, you know, just another year of either getting knocked out of the playoffs and not making the playoffs, I guess the years just add on. And then we're in the finals, and it's, you know, it's so surreal when in the National Hockey League, when you win that final game to go to the finals, there's that celebration. There's that everybody getting around, you know, happening on the ice. And, you know, seeing the way the Cavaliers just were done, finished, surrendered and stuff. And then, you know, like I said, Brunson being on the bench for the fourth quarter of all these games. And it was just like, there was a, I don't know, it was just such a quiet celebration. You know, obviously the post-game stuff was fantastic. But, you know, in terms of the interviews and on court, you know, on the court and everything, but very surreal difference between how the NHL and the NBA, as far as, you know, getting into the finals. And it was, I don't know if that's part of the fact, like it wasn't a close game, you know, like maybe you win it on the basket and the Knicks go crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it was over. Series was over. Game was over. And it was just like, all right, next, we're on to the finals. But man, 27 years or whatever it is, that's a long time.
Well, yeah.
And they're in. So there's 2 things I want to throw at you too is, and it's coming up on in both leagues, NHL particularly here and the NBA. The path that the Knicks get, right? And I'm not knocking this in any way. You get there, you get there. They don't, you know, we don't make the schedules, right?
Nope.
Knicks make the schedules. We don't make the opponents. You get there. So your thoughts on that as far as the Knicks path and also the rest, which may have affected the Cavs in terms of them having to go 7 games in their series. And then on the other side with the NHL too, you have some of the top teams getting knocked out. Not so much on the Carolina side here, but the Canadians now are absolutely gassed. They had to play 2 7-game series in their first 2 rounds too. And then you have, you know, how it affected on the NHL side too, as far as the rest for the Avs and not being fresh, and obviously what Vegas has done. But I just want to throw those out there as maybe something we could talk about. But yeah, it's still sinking in that the Knicks are in the finals. And no matter who they get, whether the Spurs or the Thunder, I think it's going to be a great series. I don't think we as Knicks fans necessarily have to be worried about anything. I think it's more or less, let's just look forward to a great series against another great team.
That is what you should be looking forward to. And I'll address a couple of those things, and you might have to, I'll start addressing one, and then you might have to refresh my memory about what the other ones were. I'll take this one first. The notion that this was a quote unquote easy run for the Knicks to get to the NBA Finals. Let me just tell you something. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, because I'm going to tell you something. When you look back at championships, a year from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now, 25, 50 years from now, people look back and remember championships and remember runs, and they remember all those things. Nobody sits around and says, oh, you know, yeah, but they played this team and that team. You know what they remember? They won. That's what they remember. And we do this a lot. It's not just with the example with the Knicks here. It's been done with teams that have won Super Bowls. It's been done with teams that have won the World Series. Oh, well, they didn't have to play this team, or someone took that team out. Nobody cares. You don't lose points and not have parades because of that. You win, you win. And did the Knicks, you know, I thought the 2 teams that would have given the Knicks the hardest time in the East were the Celtics and the Pistons. Yeah. Did they get to play either of them? No, they didn't. Is that their fault? No, it's not. They still, and the way, and to be quite honest with you, with the way that they've played in these 11 games, I think they would have probably beat both of them too. It's just the kind of run that they are on right now. And if they do win, okay, if they do win, which I now believe, and I said to you a lot, I didn't think they would win the championship. I thought that whoever came out of the West would be stronger, would be better. And those things might still be true, but I will tell you now, they can absolutely beat whoever they play in the NBA Finals.
I agree.
They have changed their game. They have raised their game to another level. I thought that they would be against Oklahoma City. A month and a half ago, I would have said that Oklahoma City would have beat the Knicks in 4 or 5 games. Now, I think it's a 6-7 game series, and the Knicks have an absolute chance to win because they've played that well.
I was calling for the parade to already be built in Oklahoma. So
You can't now
route,
because
no.
this team has shown that they can play with anybody. And all the nonsense about who they've played to get here, if they beat one of those two teams in the championship, I don't care about any road that they get there. Those are the two best teams in the NBA this year that are playing in the Western Conference Final right now. Oklahoma City is the defending champions. You go and beat that, who no one said would lose this year. Literally, you beat that team, no one's going to care that you beat the Sixers in the second round who upset the Celtics. Nobody cares. No one's going to care that you played a completely gutless Cavalier team in the Eastern Conference Final. Completely gutless. No one's going to care. Because guess how long it's been since the Knicks have won a championship? 19,375 days. That's 1973 for everyone who wants to go and do the quick math. You think that when a team hasn't won a championship since 1973, almost 20,000 days ago, people are going to care who you beat to get there? No, they will not. No, they will not. Okay, that's it. So I'm all in on it now, Paulie. I think
as far as both leagues, the rest period. I mean, everybody gets their chance to knock teams out.
Sure.
And, but you look at the Cavaliers, they were pretty gassed. They were done. Obviously, a couple injuries there at the end too.
Well,
and then
I just didn't think they were as good.
Yes.
So
and then just reflecting on the Montrose. I know. Look, I'm not. It's just a topic of discussion.
Sure.
Because every team pretty much has to do the same thing. And if you want to take care of business, you want to trim your games down and get your days off and stuff. You got to win games. You have to close the deal. And that's the bottom line. But I'm just saying, you look at, you can absolutely see the Canadians are just gassed. They're done. And you could probably say the same thing about the Cavaliers there at the end.
That is very true. It's great points to make. And look, I thought the Canadians, we'll get into a little deeper later. They lost a couple overtime games there in games 2 and 3 that if they get one of those and it's 2-2 right now, it's maybe a little bit of a different series, but Carolina has worn them down here, and the Knicks now will have the extra rest again. And I think with any of these teams, if you watch whether it's NBA or NHL in these playoffs, when you get a team that gets 7, 8, 9, Carolina 12 days of rest, there's clearly in game 1 going to be an opportunity for the other team to take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal took advantage against Carolina in a big way. You thought Cleveland was going to take advantage against the Knicks. I mean, they had a 22-point lead with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they yacked it up. So, and even Montreal taking advantage, it hasn't mattered in the 3 games after that. So we can make a big deal about this, and everyone does. Let's say the Thunder win tonight. I mean, they're both going to have a week. Thunder today's Thursday. The game 1's next Wednesday night, no matter what at this point. So, I mean, they're getting a week. The Knicks are just getting a week and a day or two. It's just and for the Knicks, it's more important to me because they are a team that has a lot of guys who are a little fragile, and OG gets hurt fairly frequently. Brunson does from time to time get hurt. You've got, you want to keep these guys as healthy as you possibly can moving forward. And you can't get hurt usually, Paulie, when you're not playing. So having a full squad 100% healthy going into game 1 is huge. And if I think if you're the Thunder, you really want to try to get that accomplished tonight too, because they do have legitimate injuries all over the place. Yeah. They have injuries with Jalen. They have injuries with Mitchell. They have guys that they need back because the way things are right now. I don't know if SGA by himself, it beats the Knicks. I think that the Thunder are going to need everyone to take the Knicks down, and the Knicks are playing that well at this point. So I think it's important, Paulie, that they've got this little bit of extra gas up until next Wednesday night.
And you got to just get it done. I mean, this is the bottom line, right? You just got to get it done.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just like I said, seeing a lot of this and that. People just chiming in.
This
a lot
and
of
that.
people do.
I love a little this and that.
A little bit of this and that. As far as like I said, teams, their paths, and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, man, Knicks get to win a championship here. It'll be amazing.
Not that I'm trying to pile on, but I said it was 19,375 days since the Knicks last won a championship. Believe it or not the longest in New York.
Give us the list, buddy.
The Jets, 20,954 days since they won a championship. So
is this just New York teams you're doing?
this is just, so they put this days since these New York teams won a title. The Jets and the Knicks are the longest. The Islanders are 15,716. The Mets are 14,457. The Rangers are 11,670. You imagine, you waited your whole life for 1994. Most Ranger fans did from 1940 to 1994. Buddy, does it feel like 11,670 days, or does it feel like longer than that since the Rangers won that?
It definitely feels that long and longer. I mean, the guys, look, we had a couple of shots in between. Conference finals and Stanley Cup finals and stuff. But yeah, man, 1994, I was a young 24-year-old, strapping young man. Went to the parade that morning, got on the train with my late friend, Matty Pollinger, and got down there, and it was a hot day. Went down to City Hall, Canyon of Heroes. Man, it was amazing. But we've had a few Yankee parades.
It would be nice to have another one of those at some point.
Yes.
One of those parades down the Canyon of Heroes. And it would be a big one if the Knicks make it.
So,
Let's be a big one.
Let's talk about that for a second. The Knicks magnitude here.
Right.
Obviously, an incredibly diehard fan base. And you've brought this up. Like I said, it's the one team in New York that pretty much, if you're fans of the Jets, Mets, Yanks, Giants, you kind of all come together for the Knicks here.
Yeah.
So they might, if we're disrespecting the Nets here, I mean.
No, you're not disrespecting. They don't have any fans. So there's no disrespecting them.
But this is like, from the top of New York State down to Montauk. It's like the state's team, man. It's like, and then this, it'd be something else, man. I don't know if they have enough room for everybody.
It is going to be a fun atmosphere in this town starting next Wednesday for the, God, it takes them like 3 weeks to play 7 games when you get to the NBA finals. But because there's like 2-3 days off between every single game and all of that. But,
well, there you go, Michael, about the rest in between the games here.
Does
this give anybody an advantage? Or
it's just too much at some point. But I think it's great. And let me tell you who else has a chance. Like Jalen Brunson, Paulie. Knicks win this championship. He's the new king of New York. I mean, he might already be that.
So on that, though.
He might already be that.
Derek Jeter might have something to say about that.
Well, look, I mean,
Rivera.
I'm not talking about
Bernie.
I'm not talking about all time. That's hard to do. Like, there's been so many great sports figures in this town on different teams and all of that. And you can't say all time. I don't think you could. That's very fair to do. Derek Jeter obviously won all the World Series. He's won. You could say he's probably in the running for all time. You look at like sections.
We're talking just New York right now.
Right now, he'd be. Well, some would say it's
those
Aaron,
Yankee guys.
Some would say it's Aaron Judge.
No,
I'm saying like right now.
Right now,
who's the king of New York right now? And you probably
I think Derek
might
Jeter probably
already
still
be.
is the king of New York.
Well, Jeter obviously for a 20-year period was.
I know, I'm busting.
And there was a time, you had like a 5 or a 6 year period where it was maybe Eli Manning.
Why can't Cody Bellinger be the king?
Well, he might be a Game 7 walk-off home run in the World Series. Maybe he would be the king of New York. But Jalen Brunson has been he's nails, dude. I mean, he's just unbelievable.
Well, on top of that, if they win this championship, they next 2 years might be able to snag another.
Hey, let's get one before you start that stuff. Get one before you go and do that. John says the Barclays Center is the Marlins Park of the NBA. That's a tough. There's like 6 people at the Marlins games, John. I don't know if I want to go that much with the Nets, but they are super irrelevant.
It's a nice building, though.
Super. Barclays Center is great.
Nice.
It is a great
building. We
building.
spent quite a few games there for the Islanders.
Sure, plenty of games there for the Isles, but thank God they got out of there. But it just wasn't for them. We've been down that road.
I liked
times,
everything
but-
that Brunson said post game.
Yes.
Teammates, all that stuff. I thought Cat was great too. So all this stuff that we've talking about, as far
Incredible.
as like, that being a problem here towards the end of the season, getting into the playoffs. Brown doing a great job coaching, managing the bench, and everything else. But it was really great to see all of those guys, Hart, like the main guys, the stars, and everything, just really showing a lot of great camaraderie, not necessarily individualism. And I thought that was just great. It was a nice touch, nice finishing touch here of getting into the finals, and obviously watching these guys all season long and the ups and downs, and then that early Hawks series, and then just becoming monsters and saying, all right, this is ours, we got it.
I want to say one other thing, because I heard you say post-game, Jalen Brunson, post-game comments, all that. I have to get to this. I know it's been a couple days, and it's probably, you've heard a lot of people bring this up, or I don't care. I want to talk about this.
I don't even know what you're going to say, so I'm excited.
I could not believe the stones on some of the guys on the Cavaliers for some of the things that they said after that game. First of all, Kenny Atkinson, who's a Long Island guy.
Yes.
Great, he's a great coach. He really put his foot in his mouth in a couple spots. Him doing the whole analytical expected score. We've won 2 of the first 3 games. Like, I honestly believe that him saying that is the reason why the Knicks drubbed them so bad in game 4. Like, he said that after game 3, expected score. We've won 2 of the 3 games. Like, I think the Knicks got it. Like, is this guy serious saying this stuff? Like, did he really just go in front of the mic? And I think he even saw Kenny Agnes. You watch him in that clip after their practice saying it. I think he even in his head was looking at it going, I can't believe I just said that, because I that might be one of the dumber things I've ever said. And I believe that him saying that made the Knicks want to do what they did to them in game 4, which was completely throttle and embarrass them the entire game. And that's precisely what they did. So, and then even after, though, for him to be like, we learned, Kenny, you guys from the 7-minute mark of game 1 got your doors blown off every which way.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot sit there after a game, and Harden too, who's an idiot to begin with.
Wow.
Harden to sit there and say, I thought we were better. 4-0 sweep, throttled in almost every game, and yacked up a 22-point lead in game 1. For him to sit there and say, yeah, I think we're the better team. James. And one of my and like Doug, who does the Bear River show, I brought this up to him, and he's like, you got to remember, like, these guys make $40 million a year. Like, they don't care what they're saying after the game. They don't care.
What can I say here to get me millions of clicks?
How could you say they're a better team? They beat the hell out of you for 3 1/4 game, and you didn't win one of them. Stupidity, Paulie. But Kenny Atkinson, and they kept Kenny Atkinson, and they should look. People thought they'd fire him because they got swept in the East Final. He did a good job this year with the Cavs. I just think he did a poor job at the microphone after game 3. And even against the Knicks, like, you go back, we talked about this after game 1. Why he didn't at some point stop the bleeding and call a timeout and try to settle things down as the Knicks are just rolling him the last 7 minutes, I have no idea. He went home, he went to his hotel room that night with two timeouts in his pocket. I don't know what he was doing.
I don't think he wasn't prepared. They weren't
He
prepared.
wasn't.
They were
He wasn't
overwhelmed.
prepared.
I don't think you can go back to the Pistons too. I mean, the Sixers, I should say. They just weren't prepared.
They weren't.
This is a different something switched there in that Atlanta series.
Yeah.
And they've just been an absolute machine.
They have. And
Getting
machine
you every way. Defense is better. Offense is better. Team play is better.
It's
confidence.
It's going to be a lot of fun, whoever they play. And game 6 tonight in San Antonio between the Spurs and the Thunder. Thunder's up 3-2. Big performance again from SGA. Even Holmgren played well for the first time all series in game 5, helping them win at home. It's tough. I lean to the Spurs tonight. I think if you're a Knicks fan, you probably want it to go as long as possible. So you want to see them maybe go to 7 games this weekend and play as much as you can. And I think tonight for the Spurs to win, Paulie, this has got to be a Wembanyama, like, big night for him. Like, this is like 30-plus points, 14 boards, 5 blocks. Like, he's like game one. Like, game one, he had an incredible performance.
What do you have in the last game?
He did not have a good game in game number 5. Game 5 was probably, I would say, his worst game of the series. And he didn't talk to the media after the game, too, which is never good.
Oh, Wemby, come on.
Yeah,
man.
and Wemby's usually good. He had 20 points. He was 4 for 15 from the field. He only had 6 boards.
I think he's tired, man. I think he's tired.
Now, 3 blocks. That's not out of the question, Paulie. And look, he's a kid. He's a 19, 20-year-old kid. He's, but these are grueling games going through. And this kind of
had a huge tall frame.
This kind of goes to why I you like the Thunder going into this series, even though the Spurs were so good at them against the regular season. For guys like Wemby and Castle and these other guys on the Spurs, like, this is their first taste of this. And sometimes you gotta, take a loss in these spots. And, the Thunder won last year. They had some tough losses the 2 years before that, before they finally won. And to think that the Spurs were just going to come right out and go and win this year in Wembanyama's first really good team that he's had around him, I think was a lot to ask. So sometimes you got to take a little bit of a stumble before you can get back to the top. And I think the Spurs could do that here. If they lose a series, they're still a great team. And I think they'll come back next year as one of the favorites to possibly win. But I think it's a very tough game tonight. And I lean to the Spurs, but even if the Spurs won, Paulie, I'd have to take OKC at home on Saturday night in Game 7. I would just have to take them.
Hey, they're the champs until you knock them out, right? So, and they've, like I said, reducing Wemby's point production here. And, there has been a bit of a difference here as far as, how they've been able to handle it. Because it looked, like I said, at the beginning of the series, and one game, how many? Well, he had a big point game.
Well, the first game, he had a monster game the first game.
Because
in the first game of the series,
as a fan, you're looking like, oh, how do you stop that? How do you stop that? The combination of him as well as his surrounding team and stuff, and to see that the Thunder have done that, is pretty impressive. So
game 1, he had 40. That was the game. He had 41 points, 24 boards. He had just a monster performance. He's had 21, 26, 33, and then 20 in game 5. The boards have gone down 24, 17, 4, 8, 6. The blocks have been kind of the same every game. But the 4 for 15 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3 in game 5, that you could make the case is a little sign of tiring. And here's the other thing that's happening to him too. He's getting kind of knocked around a little bit. Also, Hartenstein's being very physical with him down low. And maybe that's the key. He's a tall dude, but he's also he's a thin dude. He's strong, but he's a thin dude.
Yeah.
He's not like Hartenstein's a big dude, and he's banging him around a little bit. And I think that maybe that also wears you down throughout the course of a 5, 6, 7 game series as you're going. Chris agrees with you. Thinks he's gassed.
And I agree with you too, as far as how they're playing him physically and stuff. I mean, that's how you. Right, that's how you got to get a big guy like that. You got to get underneath him and just kind of get him off his game. And he is a young kid.
Yeah.
So we can only imagine all the extra chirping that's going on the court and everything else too. So.
There is probably a little bit of that. The Bronx Buckeye in the house. I can't stay for the whole show today, Paul. He's going to go meet the Ecuadorian national team.
What?
Their home base is in Columbus, Ohio.
Get out.
Did you see that? The list of the home bases where each team gets to go and train for the start of the World Cup.
Are we talking about soccer?
Yeah, I mean, hey.
You think that I'm looking where their home bases are?
I think where they're
Do
practicing.
me a favor,
Senegal's practicing in
the
Rutgers.
Ecuadorian team. All right, send them.
We did a lot of soccer last week.
Because I have no idea what this.
Next week is when we really start to turn our attention towards.
Really, we're going to start talking about it.
Wait, what's 2 weeks from now? Well, opening day is the 11th. Next Thursday. Oh no.
How about we wait till the final?
2 weeks from today is opening night. So that Wednesday, the 10th, we got to kind of.
What are we? Shakira's opening. What's going on? What kind of music we got going on for the opening night?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
I don't know. I'm not sure who they have to open things up for the World Cup. All right, Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert here with you live from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach, on the island. Yes, you could see it. A doors open Thursday. behind us. It is a doors open Thursday. It is beautiful. Although I see some, what is that over? Is that some
It's a little storm cloud
gray
there.
clouds over there? What is that?
I don't know.
I can't have that. It's a doors open Thursday. All right, Paulie, why don't you tell us everything that's going to be going on at Borrelli's? And I got to tell you, like Tommy came in, he's giving me the lowdown, like just an insane weekend here last week. Crazy crowds for the Knicks. And of course, they'll be getting ready for that game 1 next Wednesday. But they got a lot of things we got to get through this weekend first.
We sure do. Once again, everybody, we're all broadcasting live every Wednesday and Thursday, except for yesterday. My bad. At Borrelli's Taproom here on 912 West Beach Street in Long Beach, on the island, in the great state of New York, baby. And it's Thursday, ahead of the weekend. And you know Thursdays here are Carnivore Night. And we got another special announcement. In addition to Carnivore Night, the fact that you can come down here for $42.99 and get steak, veal, or pork, soup or salad, and dessert, and bottomless beers, and endless wines. Did you hear me? For $42.99. Now,
insane.
every Thursday, the Current and Company band will be here live. And those guys are great
During Carnivore Night?
during Carnivore Night. So get your choppers, bring your ears, dig music and food. I mean, well, that's just like every night here, Borrelli's, you know, music and food, sports, it's just the best stuff. So that's what's going on Thursdays here. On Friday, the live weekend returns as well. For the whole weekend, we got Logan Wally on Friday. And then it's DJ Frankie Sims will follow that up, Friday night dance party. And then on Saturday, Evan Kariga will be here in the evening at 7 p.m. And then DJ Team Select will be the Saturday night dance party DJ this weekend. And Sunday Fun Day, right now, I do believe we have live music, just don't have the name in front of me right now, but DJ Tim Select will be here for the Sunday Fun Day dance party. And man, if it's beautiful like today, the doors are open, the food's just come on down here. It's great on the strip here on Beach Street. And Borrelli's is the gem of the strip here down here. All right, so look, in addition to all of us waiting here for the Knicks next week, and we'll have the Knicks parties here, watch parties, sound on, bucket specials, 2-for-1 pizzas, dollar wings, and all that great stuff. We do have comedy, and hard to believe next week is June 1st. June is here after this weekend, but Billy Gardell's coming in on June 1st. Mark Norman, he's sold out already on June 2nd, so can't get any more tickets to Mark Norman. And then Joe List is coming in here on July 14th. And then Chris DiStefano
Joey
is
L.
going to be here on August 5th. All right? So there's some tickets left for Billy Gardell. You still get tickets for Joe List. And I probably just haven't been given a word about it. I imagine DiStefano is probably sold out or very close to sold out. But if you want to get tickets to any comedy series down here, go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com or go to Eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Comedy. And next week, which is going to be pretty cool on Wednesday, because you know on Wednesday nights here we have the music themes, right? So next Wednesday, it's going to be like a New York State of Mind Knicks watch party, because we're going to have a little Billy Joel music early, prior to game time, and then a mix of music too. A live music here before the Knicks start at 8:30. So come on down, and you know Wednesdays you get the $21 dinner special and half price bottles of wine on Wednesday, and then we've got all kinds of great music theme nights starting next Wednesday here at Borrelli's every week, and I'll give you more information on that when we get back here on next Wednesday after Billy Joel night and the Knicks happen here. And don't forget, anytime you want to come down to Borrelli's for any of these nights, just mention the Carver and Cuthbert show, and you get a free Miller Lite draft. That's right. Just come on in.
That would be one of these.
Mention CNC, and Tommy's here, Daryl, any of the great bartenders that are here tonight or during the week will give you a free Miller Lite draft. And man, June's hitting here next week, Mike. So that means we're about a little closer to the Borrelli's golf outing on June 22nd. Middle Island Golf Country Club will be there for that too.
Yes.
And that's what's happening in Borrelli's. The place to be, baby.
I am all in on that. Like, I can't wait for it.
That's classic.
It's CNC.
Between Two Ferns.
Between
which is
Two
one of
Ferns.
the greatest comedy skits.
Between the Two Ferns.
I
right
love
here.
it. What? That's awesome.
Good job by you, John.
Johnny,
in the chat box, bringing that up.
Johnny, if I
Between Two
could
Ferns
send you a
edition.
beer through the chat room right now, I would send one. That is absolutely
Great from
epic.
John. Good job.
I'm a
by
huge
him.
Galifianakis fan. Good stuff.
Is that the show where he sits down? Like, I thought I saw one
Interviews
time. Like,
stars.
Had like John Hamm there.
Oh yeah,
And he
he
was
asked the most insane questions. It's fantastic. So it'd be like Mike, is the Bet River Show really about streams and oceans? Yeah, it'd be stuff like that.
That's great. I've seen
There you go,
clips,
John.
like I've seen like social media clips of it.
It's brilliant.
I probably
That
should,
is that. I'm ready to
Between
stop the
Two
show right now
Ferns,
on that.
that's
man.
incredible,
You can't-
John.
It's the best. Between Two Ferns.
Between
We got to
Two
rebrand
Ferns.
the whole show now.
Rebrand the whole show. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, here in Long Beach on the island for us on a Doors Open Thursday hanging. All right. Knicks out of the way for now. Wednesday night. That's great. Little Billy Joel into the Knicks here at Borrelli's next Wednesday. That's an awesome night that you can have down here. Because that game, because it's the NBA Finals, game probably tips at like 9:15.
8:30 start. It says 8:30.
Yeah, they say
It
that.
says 8:30.
I will guarantee you it doesn't tip till at least 8:50 that night. That's the NBA with the NBA Finals. But that's either here nor there. That's just me arguing about stupid TV stuff that nobody wants to really hear.
No, it's important, man.
Yankee baseball. The Yankees this week got a gift. You know, it's always they always love if the Yankees aren't going great. And look, they played 2 games with the Rays last weekend. They split them. You had the Judge walk-off homer on Sunday. You know, so it wasn't a total loss. It was they got rained out one game. They'll play a doubleheader later on. But if things aren't going well for you whenever you're a Yankee fan or the Yankees themselves, if there's ever one thing that will always turn the frown upside down in Yankee land, it is when the Yankees get to see one of these AL Central teams. Because the Yankees, for whatever reason, not just like recently, the last 5 years, 10 years, I'm talking the last 30 years, the Yankees just, they bully these AL Central teams all the time. The Royals are the latest victim as they sweep all
14 in a row.
They have the longest
Last
streak
14.
against one team in baseball currently. They've beaten the Royals 14 straight times. Now, you know what it was like with the Twins with the Yankees, and this is like back with the Jeter, Bernie, you know, they bullied the Twins every single year. And baby, it's all these AL Central teams.
Mhm.
They bully them. And the Royals, when they see the Royals coming, Paulie, it is like slump buster time. Here we go.
Like Mr. Softy coming around the corner with some
It
ice
is,
cream.
it is exactly what the doctor ordered. When things aren't going well, there's a good way to jump off a little winning streak, and that's playing the AL Central. Yankees did that the last 3 days, and give them credit. You got to take care of business in spots like this. You know, they had the first game, which was a little back and forth. The bullpen got a little dicey. They gave up those late homers to Salvi and Witt, but then they scored some runs in the ninth and got the job done. You had the game on Tuesday where they just absolutely bludgeoned him pillar to post and beat the hell out of that guy. That poor, I guess that's that the Noah Cameron game, I guess, on that one on Tuesday night. That might have been last night. I lose track of this stuff. And then yesterday, you had Garrett Cole pitching really phenomenal game from him. So it's that was Falter, I think, on Tuesday night. Last night was Noah Cameron. It wasn't too bad.
10 strikeouts last night. I didn't walk anybody, I don't think.
Right. Cole was great. And now Cole 2 starts, Paulie, since coming off not pitching for a year. Really strong. Hasn't given up a run in either start. He's looked, and the Yankees are kind of, we've discussed this. We were wondering what would it look like when Cole comes back, when Rodon comes back, and all these, and Schlittler was great again the night before. They have the, you could say the best rotation potentially in baseball. Now, unfortunately for them, they're backed up by what I think is just an atrocious bullpen, but one of the best starting pitching rotations that you can throw out there.
Yeah, and at Free being out, and it would just be great to see what that's going to be like. I'm sitting here and I'm watching, checking in these last 4 games, and the last time I'm here, I'm yelling and screaming about the Yanks because they anger me because I expect so much more from them. And then, they win again and you get back in. And what I'm trying to get here is, and maybe you can help me, Mike, and maybe the guys in the chat room can help me, or anybody else watching later and stuff. I don't know how to be a Yankee fan these days anymore.
You don't know how to?
I don't know how to be a Yankee fan.
Well, because
swings back from anger and,
see, here's the thing.
And then,
I know the type of Yankee fan you are. You want to always be positive. You do. you want to believe.
I have been for a while.
You have
This
been,
year I
and
haven't.
you've shown some cracks in the foundation this year. And I don't know if that's just because I've gassed you up a little bit with some of the cracks in the foundation, because no one's been more realistic about this team over the last 5-6 years than me. And I'm willing to say that. I've been honest when it comes to the start of every season. I tell it like it is. And that's usually how it goes. I said it, Paulie. I said it. But I think a little bit of that has rubbed off on you here, because you're kind of looking for things to get upset about, looking for reasons to go after them, and for the most part, you don't have those things. Now, they have two glaring problems.
Only two?
And they're two glaring problems that are going to cost them in October, which is what I would always tell you. In the regular season, though, these two problems can get masked a little bit. And one is, like I just said, their bullpen is atrocious. I mean, it's inconsistent and atrocious. Like, there are guys in there that have good stuff, but they're just not consistent. They just aren't. I mean, you might get a couple good outings from Bednar. You might get a couple bad ones. You might get a couple good outings from Cruz. You might get a couple bad ones. Dotel, all these, you might get them, but you never know what you're going to get. And lately it's been more bad than good. And their second biggest problem is the bottom half of their lineup can be an absolute zero. Just an absolute
Can
zero.
be?
Most nights is an absolute zero. Well, I mean, yeah, McMahon hit a homer yesterday or the night of whenever that was. And
yeah, and then just to see the little Tron at the bottom of his stats before you hit the home run.
yeah, I understand. And you could say that about their catching. That Wells is a disgrace. We've brought this up over and over again. They get nothing offensively out of the catcher position. They get nothing offensively out of third base. They get nothing offensively out of an out. They have their 6 through 9 consistently in the order is a problem. And these are the things that are going to cost them. Now, look, you'll tell me when Stanton comes back, that can kind of extends a little bit. Maybe they make a move, it can extend a little bit. I don't know what move there is to make, but
how is Giancarlo doing? Do we know where he is?
I will tell you, they have really put him in the freezer here the last couple weeks.
I haven't seen him on the bench.
And when this happened, when he got hurt, they do this all the time. This is how this is typical Yankee shill stuff that their medical team and Boone and all these guys do. When he got initially hurt, it was, a couple weeks. I don't even know the guy's name in weeks. But I don't mind that because he only needs to play in October. September and October. I need him to get, those September at bats to get him locked in, and then be ready to smash in October. I don't need him April through August. I don't. I need him healthy in September and October. That's when I need him. Just those times.
So should I and similar fans that are in the same position that I am as far as the confusion here, because the rest of the American League really is not very good, should I just try and relax a little more and just deal with Booney and the same shit at the bottom of the lineup?
Well, let me ask you. Well, this is another thing.
Every other week.
Should
I just kind of just ride this out, just go surf and jump on a jet ski until
I'm going to say it to you again.
Just not even worry about it.
And I know that
not get worked up.
I know it feels like we do this every week at some point, either Wednesday or Thursday on the show.
I don't want to.
But I'm going to say it to you again. Which one of these awful teams is beating them in the American League? Who?
I know.
There are currently 4 teams over 500 in the American League. Them and the Rays, understandably. So the Rays, yes, tough. Going to be tough out. Cleveland and the White Sox are both over. White Sox, surprising White Sox, 1 game over.
Kid hit another.
Again, those are AL Central teams that the Yankees will always bully in a big spot. Always. And then the entire West is under 500. Stinks. And listen, they're going this weekend. They're playing in Sacramento against the A's, which can be sometimes tough for them when they used to go to the old Oakland College. When the A's were in Oakland, it would be a problem. But the Yankees will bully in that little Sacramento ballpark this weekend, and they will hit 1 billion home runs off of the A's this weekend because that place, it's like ball just travels out there. It's just great. So the Yankees will probably bully against the A's this weekend, and they'll come home for Cleveland next week. But who's beating them? That's the one thing that you want to get all fired up about. These teams all suck. Who's going to take them down when it matters? Other than the Rays, you can make a case for the Rays, and I understand that.
And I think we could also make another observation as far as if you got to the World Series besides the Dodgers. The National League's not really that good either.
Look, the Dodgers are obviously super good, but like, are you asking me could the Yankees beat the Brewers in the World Series? Sure. Could they beat the Braves in the World Series? Sure. Could they beat the Padres in the World Series? Sure. But all these teams, they're sitting around waiting to get, they're going to punch back and forth with the Dodgers during the regular season, but you think they think they're going to beat them in the playoffs? I certainly don't. I don't believe it.
So to put a ball on this, and maybe the rest of the summer here, we're all right. Let's just not get upset anymore.
Well,
not forget about yelling at Volpe and Jazz.
Volpe stinks.
And Wells.
It's just,
and McMahon. I mean, it's just let it go. Don't even get upset at the bullpen. Wait till
how about
see
this?
what Cashman does at the trade deadline.
I'll put it to you this way: if you're going to get upset about it in context of October. Okay, this will be a problem in October. That's the only thing that should be a concern right now is October, because this is wiffle ball for them the rest of the summer. Now,
and the Rays are actually going to
maybe not, because remember, June and July, the last few years, have been problems for the Yankees. They've taken those months off. So will they continue to push and extend, as Sebastian says there, extend? Will they continue to push and extend in months the last few years that they typically have not? I hope so. That would make me feel a little better too, because I'm used to them just not showing up in June and July and then turning it back on in August and running to the finish line. That's usually what they go and do, at least the past couple of years. I'd like to see a different approach this year. I'd like to see them play full out the whole way. That's what I would like.
So when the Knicks win the finals, they're champions, I should just sit down, stock up the fridge, and just try and enjoy the Yankees the rest of the way, and not get upset about anything.
I mean, look, it could be the Mets. They could be the Mets.
They still playing?
They won a game last night.
Is he still managing them?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel bad. I
think
I
saw the broadcasting team's getting a little upset.
Well, that's when it's time. See, when Gary and Keith and Ron are in the booth,
getting a little upset,
openly questioning your manager. And let me just tell you, now they have listen, broadcasters should always have latitude. But when you work for the team, Paulie, there's some, you gotta
very experienced guys.
I understand that, but there's always kind of need to, I'm not saying watch yourself, but most teams aren't going to take likely to you if you're one of their broadcasters. Broadcasters are supposed to be there to pump up the team. That's when you're the home broadcaster. People don't seem to understand that sometimes. They used to, with Sterling calls back in the day or with anything, Gary gets very excited with the Met calls, and they're the home team announcers. They're supposed to be rooting for the home team. It's not like a national announcer who's supposed to be neutral, like this bug Joe Davis who does the Dodgers, who then all of a sudden goes and does the national games on Fox on Saturdays.
Down on Joe Davis, huh?
Oh, I'm really down on him.
Oh, man.
And I'm not even a Met. If I was a Met fan, I'd be even more down on him, but I'm not. The stuff that he does on these Met national broadcast games is ridiculous. He's a Dodger announcer. What he did last year, he calls the World Series on Fox.
You're telling me that you actually spend time watching the New York Mets?
I know what's going on.
But I'm saying, you watch a broadcast?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
You got to watch the games. You got to watch the games. I mean, this is what it's about.
I understand.
Either way, back to the original point. We're getting off track.
Sorry, yes, I'm getting off track.
When your home broadcast team is starting to question the manager openly on the broadcast, it's time. Okay? And I know that this
so you're saying
this computer nerd, paper pusher, Stearns doesn't want to.
You're saying the broadcast booth opinion should reflect the changing of the manager and not.
Well, no. Well, what I'm saying is that they're questioning the manager on the broadcast booth.
Now, is this in the sense that, it's the corporate thing? Those guys
and I
work
give
for
them.
the team.
I give
corporate.
Correct.
They have to kind of talk the company line,
I'm saying
and now
that's usually the case.
Yes. All right.
There are teams in Major League Baseball that if their announcers did that, they would be very upset because they look at it as, why are you bashing our team on the air? Why are you saying negative things about our team?
And this team, the Mets broadcast booth, just celebrated 20-something years.
Well, listen, those guys have a little bit more latitude because they've been there forever and they're very good. And
maybe they need to go.
What they're
maybe
saying,
that's what the Mets.
What they're
is.
saying is also true. So, and I, you know, I don't want to say I don't feel bad for anybody who makes $6 million a year like Carlos Mendoza does, or whatever, $4 million a year, whatever he makes. I don't know. I don't feel bad for anybody like that, but they gotta just let him go and disappear. And because he's saying he's running in circles, saying the same things every single night. Nothing's getting better. Nothing's like.
Do you think there might be a view from ownership or GM and stuff thinking, look, this team is not fixable no matter who we bring in this year, and let's just let Mendoza finish out the season, and then we just axe him
I
at the end of the year?
I think that the owner clearly is letting the nerd GM do whatever he wants. And
well, I'm not asking you let him do what he wants. What's your opinion on the fact that it does? I mean, if you haven't fired Mendoza now, what's the point in firing him?
Well, I agree with that point. I mean, there's been like 3 or 4 times this year that I thought, man, how do you not fire him at this point? Like, there's just like, man, there's been 3 or 4 of those, and they haven't. And all the reports say that they're not going to. But I mean, God, how can you just let it keep going like this? Like, it's so tough to watch. Like, I can't even imagine being a fan of that team. I'm going tomorrow night.
Really?
I'm going. Be at the Met game tomorrow night.
It's a great place to bring the kids.
Well, it's Little League, not for our Little League. So they get to go out on the field before the game and walk.
Wait a second. Really? They're doing that again?
Yeah.
They didn't do that for us last year.
We did it last year.
After Soto signed his contract, there was no money left to bring all the kids.
We went. It was last year. It was a
How
Sunday
come we
afternoon.
get gypped and you guys get to go?
I guess our Little League paid them more. I don't know.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Just making it. I don't know.
It's messed up. They didn't let us do it last year.
So we got the pregame walk around the field.
And it wasn't just our town, and they didn't let anybody. None of the Little Leagues could do it last year.
We did it last year.
You did it last year?
Last year on a Sunday, we did it. A Sunday afternoon game in May, we did it. Actually, the first Sunday in June. I remember it.
Everybody out on the field?
We went. They walked around the warning track. They walked from one corner, one foul pole to the other foul pole.
Maybe our
got off the field.
Maybe our town lied to us then.
So we have that pregame before Mets Marlins tomorrow night. Can the Mets? How about this for who you got? Can the Mets win a game from the Marlins this weekend after they got swept by them last weekend in Miami? Can they win a game from them?
Yeah, one game.
One game.
One game.
Okay. Peralta tomorrow night? Man, Peralta's gutless too. Let me tell you. He is gutless.
You know,
they should thank their lucky stars that he didn't accept that extension they offered him before the season. Because they need to get that guy. He's not built for New York.
Did I see something last week about Diaz and the Dodgers and some kind of gambling thing, and he's out with Roosters? What's going on out there?
He's involved in some cockfighting.
What goes through your mind?
But that's going to get swept away. Everything with the Dodgers gets swept away, just like Ohtani with the gambling and all that.
I'm really surprised they didn't bring Trevor Bauer back. To be honest with you, he's tearing it up with the Ducks.
He's hurt now.
Oh,
got in a car accident or something in Arizona. Yeah, he was.
I didn't hear about that.
He was actually in Arizona for rehabbing. I guess he got hurt in one of the games. And then he was
pitch like a no-hitter or something.
It was a 7-inning no-hitter. Little fugazi, but he did throw a 7-inning no-hitter, and he's brought excitement to the Long Island Duck Bethpage building. So he's been.
I haven't been to that field yet. Have you?
Oh, I've been there a couple times. We were there last summer for a game.
Nice.
It's a nice family. You know, it's a nice day out at the park. Kids have fun. You know, they got a Quacker Jack running around or whatever his name is.
I'm so jealous that you guys get to go.
My
majors team. They told them
right field to left field, right around the back.
Because we'd gone every year prior to that.
You can't stop and talk to anybody or take pictures.
Of course not.
Keep moving.
Don't even go near
the
grass.
Moving.
Don't go near
the grass. They got the big stanchions up all around the grass. You can't touch the grass. They yell at you. They do all of those things.
That's a great section they put on it. You're out in the back?
Yes, they have a center, like, the 300s right there. Kind of straightaway center out by where the pavilion is.
With the wiffle ball field.
Right. They have us out there.
Next to that ridiculous, or just underneath that ridiculous giant.
They got a lot of fun stuff out there.
Well, that's the thing. I think
so.
The Mets are more of a minor league baseball team than a, national baseball.
Well, they've got to keep you entertained at the game.
Yeah, they don't do that in Yankee Stadium, man. It's baseball.
And that's like a good thing for me. Like, I don't really want to. I'm watching the Mets tomorrow night. I might go up in the pavilion there and have a beer and go
talking
on.
About this, I got a little beef with this because I won't look. I don't know what the pricing is for the Mets now. I'm sure it's not that expensive, and I know the Little League thing you're doing tomorrow is on the arm. It's part of the league.
It ain't on the arm. We're paying for tickets. We don't go for
that's
free.
Right. Yeah, I do pay for tickets, but
pay for tickets.
It's not that expensive.
I don't know. It's $30-$40 a ticket.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
What I'm trying to get at is when you spend money to go to the game and parking and food, and your kids, all they want to do is catch wiffle balls out of a little wiffle ball.
Well, this is
when you got Major League Baseball players playing on. Actually, I'm not a big fan of the stadium per se, but I do think the field at Citi Field is one of the best in majors, infield, outfield. It's beautiful. But it's distraction,
it's
which is kind of like what they do at minor league ballparks. There's 7,000 things going on for kids' activities and stuff like that besides the game. Like the game is not the important thing. And I've been to a few minor league ballparks, and I know what I'm talking about. And Citi Field is sort of that way too.
It's a nice place to watch a game.
Yeah, it is.
It is a nice place.
If the kids want to sit down and actually watch the game.
They are now currently, since I just want to make sure that we have it all buttoned up here. 23-33. That's believe it or not, they're no longer have the worst record in the NL. The Giants and the Rockies are now below them.
What's up with the Giants, man?
They stink.
What is up with the San Francisco Giants?
I wish I could tell you more than that, but they're just not very good. They're just not. So,
I don't know. I it's been a while. I haven't sat next to a Met fan, like person to person, to find out exactly how they feel about this team. I mean, I don't know what you get. When you turn around and say who you got this weekend,
7 games back of the third wild card.
First instinct, yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. So kind of like my Yankee question: rest of the NL, rest of the summer. Should the Met fans really get upset right now?
Well, I think
just
last
take it
week,
easy and see what happens because you'll probably get into the wild card.
I think last week I said to you, there's still time.
Yeah.
Right? Did I say that last week?
Pretty sure you did.
There's still time. And you know what? There is still time. But I don't think it matters. There is still time. I mean, 7 games is nothing with 4 months left in the season. All it takes is one. Like I said, you rip off a really good 2-3 week stretch. That 7's 2 or 3 in a heartbeat. Yeah, you're out of a playoff spot. So
they still haven't played the Phillies or the Braves yet.
They got to have that coming up. They have played them, I think, once. They did play the Phillies once.
They did?
Sure, yes.
Did they play Mattingly's Phillies? Oh, Suns back.
No, you're right. They haven't played the Phillies yet.
No, they haven't.
So they have.
They haven't played the
I will
Braves
tell
yet.
you when they finally are going to get those in. So they play the Braves June 12th at home for the first time.
See, I'd like to go see.
They play the Phillies in Philly June 18th for the first time. Then they play the Phillies again at home the 26th. So they have 2 series with the Phillies.
That's
in
when
June.
I'll go to Citi Field when they're playing the
Man,
Braves.
let me tell you,
and the Phillies
this June
and the
for them.
Dodgers. I always go take a
This June.
little guy to see the Dodgers.
This is who they have in June. This is who the teams they're playing in June. At Seattle, at San Diego, home for St. Louis, home for the Braves, at Cincinnati, at Philadelphia, home for the Cubs, home for the Phillies, at Toronto. There ain't a lot of Rockies, Giants, Marlins, and bad teams on that list there.
Could be a crushing month.
That could be they could really get sunk in June. I mean, no one is going to care. I mean, no one barely cares now, but they're not going to be on anybody's radar at all this summer. At all.
That wild card drops.
It's unfortunate.
12
it really
and a half,
is.
13. Two Yankee fans here really upset about
I know.
the Mets situation.
But I don't want it to completely be like that because you do want to try to look at it from a somewhat of, but like, what's there to be excited about?
I think they're cursed. Absolutely cursed.
I think that some fans would say that. I think that some fans would think that they're
1986. Bring up that list again of New York teams. How many days?
The Mets were at
Since the Mets?
14,000 something.
Dear
14,000 something
Lord.
days. They were at. So
Dear Lord. Well, hopefully a lot of Mets fans or Knicks fans this next week and a half, and they'll at least hopefully maybe have a chance at a championship here. Anything else going around MLB that
there's
you
not
got
really anything else. I know I bring this up with you all the time, but it is astonishing to me that there's only 4 teams over 500 in the AL. The Mariners are now in first in the West with a 28-29 record. Under 500 is first place in the West.
Insane.
At this point. And that really keeps
does this need to be studied? Does baseball need to be studied right now? Because its popularity is very high, but the product is pretty mediocre.
Like Houston's 25-32 and they're 3 games out of first. So there's time for everybody. But the Mets were wishing they were in the AL West right now. And the entire NL Central is over 500. The entire division. The Pirates are 29-27 and they're in last place.
And where are the Padres and the Dodgers right now?
Padres and the
They've dropped?
Diamondbacks are both 4.5 games back of the Dodgers.
4.5.
So the Dodgers have gotten going again. They've won 5 in a row.
What was this rumor going around about Witt Jr. getting traded?
There's no way that's happening. 0.0% chance. I mean, I didn't see that, but if you were Kansas, why the hell would you do that? He's super young, controlled for a lot of years. There's no way that's happening.
Get the kid some help, man.
He's incredible.
Get the kid some help.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to. You got to get him some help. So there you go, Paulie. A little baseball for you.
Just a little. And
Here
we'll just
today.
everybody just chill and relax because there's time. And that's the mantra I'm going to take going forward here. I'm going to try and not get angry and mad at Boone, Wells, Jazz, Volpe.
You'll be all right.
The
Don't worry.
bullpen.
You'll be okay.
Chris, McMahon.
You'll be all right. Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert here at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island on a doors open Thursday, where it looked like now the sun's trying to get back out now, Paulie. So we're doing okay. A little breezy today. But you don't mind that, right?
I love it right now.
The Between Two Ferns edition
Oh, fantastic.
of Carver and Cuthbert here with us this afternoon. All right, let's do the pucks. We'll start with the series that's still going on because I got a couple things with Vegas that I want to kind of bring up with you since they're already in it. Carolina beats Montreal last night 4-0. They blitzed them with 3 goals in the first period. They obviously won a couple overtime games in games 2 and 3. They now completely control the series after losing that game 1 off of 12 days off. I think you can absolutely make the case that this is a combination of Montreal playing a couple of tough 7-game series leading into this and really kind of being out of gas. And, the Hurricanes just have this style that, and I've said this to you a lot, you really need to beat Carolina. You got to have a lot of speed and a lot of high skill, offensive skill, because they can really bottle you up and just make your life miserable the entire night. And the Canes have really done that to Montreal the last couple games. So I think this is over, to be quite honest with you, tomorrow night in Carolina in Game 5. I think it's finished.
I agree. I had posted that I'd fallen in love with the Montreal Canadiens at the start of this series. I have fallen out of love with the Montreal Canadiens because it's over. And it's not them, it's me. It's me. And our little affair together here is over. I do believe the Carolina Hurricanes, who have now shown Brind'Amour made the adjustments, and it's a combination with a young Montreal gas team as well. And they've broken some of the armor there and nets for the Habs. Freddie Anderson has actually played pretty well.
Yeah, I guess.
He's
he's seen like 6 shots on goal the last 2 games.
I know, because that was my next thing. His defense has played fantastic.
Who's actually tested him in this playoff? The one night that Game 1, Montreal scored 6 goals when they actually were able to. Someone was actually able to generate some offense against him. He let them all in. Like you say, I think it's more the system in front of him than it is him. And I'm not trying to sit here and not give the guy any credit whatsoever. But, man,
it's almost as if they're playing to make sure nobody shoots on
Anderson. I agree. It does feel like that. And
Brind'Amour's like, no matter what happens, don't let any shots
Let me tell you, they're not going to be able to operate that way against this Vegas team in the Stanley Cup final.
These Vegas guys are chumps. They back their butts in there. They don't deserve to be
there.
I
can't do that anymore.
They don't deserve to be in there.
Why do they not deserve to be there?
This is the buzz. This is what's going on. They were, 39-win team. They shouldn't be
cares?
there. It's not fair. The Avalanche should have been given the Stanley Cup finals. They were the President's Trophy winners.
I see.
They were the better team all year long.
I,
Come
um,
on,
I think
please.
that
It's not fair. The Wild should be in it.
I think there's two things that happened to the Avalanche in this sweep. Three things, really. Well, the first thing is you have to Vegas.
We thought they were gonna crush them. We did.
We did. I thought that coming off of, again, I didn't think Vegas was the better team in both the Utah and the Anaheim series, but they found ways to get the job done. And now they were able to get a situation where two things happened to Colorado in this series. Number one, and I don't want to, this shouldn't be an excuse. Their two best players were hurt in this. Now, Makar missed the first two games, and I'm sure he was just like hockey player tough getting through it in games 3 and 4. McKinnon, when he got hurt at the middle of game 3, he shouldn't have even been on the ice.
Suck it up.
I don't know what he was doing. Like, he
Get back in
played,
there.
he was completely compromised. Now,
What, he got hit in the
that
leg
is
with a
what
puck?
it is. There's like 17, 18 other skaters on the team that, like, where was Nashus? Where was Brock Nelson? Where were these guys to pick up a little bit of the slack? And they did not.
Your boy
But-
Brock Nelson, man. Why didn't he put them on the shoulders?
He had some opportunities. He couldn't finish. And the other thing was, and I brought this up to you a lot, they finally got the kind of performances from Wedgwood that, look, I mean, it's you can laugh, but like,
No, I'm laughing.
My
You're right.
thing
You
that
nailed
I
it.
said
It's
for months was,
like,
are they really going to win a Stanley Cup with Wedgwood and Blackwood and Mackenzie Blackwood as their goaltenders? Are they really going to do that? And they played awful in the series.
awful.
Now, Blackwood was very good in game 4 when he went back in and kind of held the fort as long as he could. He didn't play poorly, but Wedgwood stunk in the whole series. And it's the way that it goes. And Vegas played their best hockey overall in that series than they had in the first two. And that's, I know Colorado was like anointed as unbeatable and all those things, but there's a reason why the President's Trophy winners won twice in the last 25 years. Nothing is anointed in the NHL. You have to go and win the 16 games. You have to get through it. And when you have Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood as your goaltending tandem, I think that's personally a little tough to ask. I really do.
Well, I mean, nobody knew what to expect from Carter Hart, and the kids just, obviously,
Yeah, but
there's a combination of
but here's
what's going on in
here's
front
the
of him.
here's the difference.
But what I'm saying is, you could put a Carter Hart in the same bunch as
Carter Hart.
Wedgwood, and those guys.
No way. He is a much better goaltender than those
Yeah,
guys.
you think so?
And Paulie, before he was banished to go deal with his legal problems up in Quebec from Philadelphia, he was one of the rising young goaltenders in the league. He came out as a high prospect. This is not a guy who's come off the street and played well for Vic. This guy has had coming up a pedigree being a top flight NHL goaltender, but had a lot of problems off the ice that he had to go deal with. And now comes back here in Vegas and he's playing like the goalie people thought he could be. I don't think that those two guys on Colorado, they've been serviceable NHL guys, obviously, for a long time, but I wouldn't put what you would think is their talent level on the same as Carter Hart. I wouldn't. I would not do that.
Well, I think prior to this playoffs,
Sure.
I would have put Carter Hart in the same.
Okay, but I
Like
think
what we were
that
talking to
there's-
Scotty Lachlan about.
But I think that there was a better shot that a Carter Hart could play like an elite level goaltender, because I feel like that's in his pedigree to be able to do that.
Well, it worked out his path here. He's been given the opportunity.
Sure.
A lot of different angles here with Vegas.
Well, there's two I want to give to you.
Go, man. I'm listening.
First, what will the city of Toronto look like when they hand Mitch Marner the Conn Smythe
Who
trophy?
cares about Toronto? Come on.
When they hand Marner the Conn Smythe after the Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup.
What a bucket of points this kid has put up.
He's been great.
Amazing.
He's been excellent.
Amazing. And I'm so glad you say that you knew, I'm just so glad that when we were doing, we both thought the Avs were going to win the series. And the only thing I said was, keep an eye on Marner, man, because he did play very well in the Duck series, bringing it on. And man, he's definitely the catalyst for this team.
100%. He's been excellent. Now, Eichel's been good too. Stone's come back and has been excellent. Dorfiev's been unbelievable with all the goals that he has scored. They have gotten a lot of big performances. And I'll give you the betting board aspect of it. Marner is the betting favorite to win the Conn Smythe right now.
Who's close to him in points? Who's next to him?
I'd have to bring that up.
Definitely nobody in Carolina.
Carolina's definitely been a mixed bag.
Maybe someone of the Canadians. I don't think McKinnon put up the points.
Marner has 21 points. Eichel has 18. Suzuki on Montreal has 16. McKinnon and Tage Thompson have 15, who are both now eliminated. So Dorofiev and Howden. Howden's another guy. They both have 10 goals to lead.
Well, I think that's another big part of not only Carter Hart, Marner, Tortorella's a story here too.
I want to talk about him.
But the other guys on this team that Tortorella has given play ice time to, and not a lot, like 3 or 4 minutes sometimes these guys, these shifts, and he's getting goals from these guys on those shifts that have turned the game around, flipped the game around, and have created this balance of a team that, you know, these last couple of games, especially against Colorado, they had no chance. No chance. Impressive.
No shot. Now, let's have the Torts conversation.
Let's have the Torts conversation.
So, obviously, Torts has come off the street here, basically, or come off the couch at studios.
Yes.
To be behind the bench for this run. The last 7 or 8 games, whatever it was, and now 12 wins in the playoffs, including taking to the Stanley Cup final. I've seen some people over the last couple of days try to like kind of dismiss that this like isn't going to be like a Torts accomplishment because he's just like along for the ride, like he's destroying the team and
well, then you have to say the same thing about Dan Bilsman, right? Penguins, right?
Right.
You have to say the same thing.
Well,
about him.
I'm not,
or Craig Berube, right?
Right.
You'd have to say the same thing about them.
Or what about when the Devils won when they changed and they put Robinson in there at the
say the same thing about him too, right?
Well, here's the point that I want to get to with you. I don't know if people obviously John Tortorella has always been a what's the word? What's the word that I'm looking for? Listen,
you love him or you hate him.
You're talking 20 years plus being a coach in the NHL for several franchises.
Yes.
Before he got off the couch 6 weeks ago, or 2 months ago at this point, did you think that John Tortorella was a Hall of Fame head coach? No. One cup, obviously, with Tampa. Taking a lot of teams far, obviously Rangers.
He's a USA Hockey Hall of Fame coach, absolutely.
Okay, but that's fair. But you know, the Hockey Hall of Fame recognizes everything, both international and NHL accomplishments. You know, it's not the NHL Hall of Fame; it's the Hockey Hall of Fame. If he wins this cup, he is a no doubt about it, absolute, no question, Hall of Famer in my mind. And I think he might be even without this.
And tell me why. What are you backing that up with?
Well, I think he's going to be the 4th coach to win a cup with 2 teams.
Only 4th?
Yeah, I know Bowman's on that. I'll get the list for you in a second. I have this first. He's 9th all time on the win list with 777. He's in the top 10 in wins. He would potentially have a 2nd Stanley Cup. He would have, you look at some of the other stuff, good stuff. Rangers, obviously, that was Vigneault behind the bench when they finally got to the final against the Kings, but he was the coach a couple years before that.
Torched them to the conference
final.
Lost to DeBoer.
Has one of the biggest upsets in first-round history with Columbus sweeping that Tampa team in the first round. You got the USA Hockey stuff as well.
Terrible job in Vancouver. Terrible job in Philly.
I wouldn't say terrible in Philly. I don't think they let it go for long enough, to be quite honest with you.
Terrible job in Philly.
Can't say terrible job in Columbus. Can't say that because that franchise has never done anything. And that's maybe the biggest thing that franchise has ever done when they beat Tampa that year and did that. I think he's a Hall of Fame coach. I think that you can make an argument even if he doesn't win this, but I think 2 cups, 20-plus years apart, I think there's no doubt about it. He's a Hall of Fame coach. As much as people don't like him, It is.
Well, the 20 years, his impact on the game, he's had such an impact on a lot of players. That's been pretty much maybe the debate with Torts. A lot of players hated playing for him, and then there's an equal amount of players that are grateful who played for him with his style. His involvement just as an American coach here in the States, his impact on USA Hockey, multiple. I totally wouldn't have a problem with John Tortorella being inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I do agree with you if he does win this Stanley Cup with Vegas.
He would be the fourth to win with two different teams.
He would be the fourth.
Scotty Bowman, obviously, Montreal, Penguins, Detroit. He's got 3. Tommy Gorman in the 30s, Chicago and Montreal.
Good old Tommy Gordon.
And Dick Irvin Sr. with the Leafs and the Habs in the 30s as well. So not only are you talking,
I'm surprised. I thought it was more recent coaches.
So not only are you talking the fourth guy to do it.
Oh, different teams.
Babcock got
he won all his cups with one team.
He won all with one. He got Anaheim to a final, but didn't win with them.
Gotcha. Understand.
Torts would be the fourth guy and really the second in modern time to win a cup with two different teams, and he's going to do it 20-plus years apart. He's a Hall of Famer, especially if he wins this cup. He's a Hall of Famer, whether they like him or not, and they can go and play their clips of him yelling at reporters and him and Sam in the hallway in Buffalo and everything. You can play all that stuff all you want. And the fights in the hallway with Calgary and Vancouver and all that great. He's a Hall of Famer if he wins this cup.
Look,
no doubt about it.
I shamelessly love John Tortorella.
Most Ranger fans do.
Yeah. So,
most Ranger fans wish he was the coach again.
And it's like anybody you love, they disappoint you throughout, your relationship with them. I did the whole thing with the press conference there, not doing it, in the playoff. That was nonsense. That was
yes,
typical
and
John Tortorella stuff.
Yes, 1,000%.
But you know what, man? That guy, he has all the experience. I couldn't. None of us can give a sniff. Look at the amount of time. Like I said, you bring up the games, and if he does win this cup, we definitely have to turn into the conversation of, are they going to win this thing?
Well,
he spent so many hours and so many miles, and the guy is one of the hardest workers in the NHL. And now maybe somebody might sit back and laugh because there's such a turnover of the same guys getting jobs, and over the last 10 years prior to the last 5 years, I mean, it was Torts and it was Vigneault and it was Boudreau, and it was the same coaches and Laviolette just getting the same freaking jobs. And you can go on and on about what's his face, McClellan and DeBoer. I mean, it's like the same pool of coaches just kept getting the same jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when we're specifically talking about Torts here, he's an enigma in the National Hockey League and in hockey. Every city, in not only the NHL, the AHL, and in Europe too. The guy's an enigma. Everybody knows who John Tortorella is.
No question.
I do agree with you. He, even if he doesn't win the cup here, he eventually deserves, by his record alone, his games, everything else, he deserves to be in the
top 10 wins.
I'm in with Torts.
Be the fourth guy to ever win cups with two different teams.
And I don't know what Nelson's cooking back there, but man, it smells delicious.
Nelson's got it going back there today. It smells good.
I am hungry.
It smells good. Now, I will ask you this before we go, because
are we going to talk about Vegas anymore?
Yes, because if Carolina wraps it up tomorrow night, which I think they will, and I think you think they will, if that happens, game 1 is Tuesday night. We obviously aren't back here till Wednesday.
Who's going to be home?
Carolina has home ice. Both these teams do. Montreal would have home ice if it was them too. But Carolina would have home ice. We are not back here until Wednesday, so we would not be back before game 1. We got in a potential Carolina-Vegas Stanley Cup final, game 1 Tuesday night, potentially. Who are you taking? Serious? Who you got?
I have to.
That way we can run this on Saturday after they.
No, but I was thinking about this, before coming in here today and everything else, and just thinking about the Knicks and just all sports in general. And we obviously are going back and forth about the Mets and the Yankees and stuff. And I think as far as where the playoffs have ended up here in the NHL, I mean, you just don't know what to expect. You can feel very confident about something. Like, as confident as I felt about the Colorado Avalanche, and I know everybody in the league did, and Vegas just turned it upside down.
Yeah.
Carolina, first 2 series they played easy peasy. Then they get beat game 1, and then they're close games overtime. And now you've just seen something going on now that, yeah, I agree with you. They're going to win. It's going to be the Canes. It's going to be Vegas. And then the other outside thing is like, is this a Stanley Cup Finals that is going to drive a lot of ratings? Is there going to be a lot of interest?
It'd be awful.
No, because
they are going to get buried.
You have a ton of people who, besides Torts, and let's take the Carter Hart story, hate the Vegas Knights.
There's a lot of reasons people hate Vegas. And it's and those two things alone would give people reason. Then you get to all the traditional markets hate them because this is their 3rd final in 9 years. They felt like they were given a team that no other expansion team has ever been given. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of people hate the Vegas Golden Knights.
And then you have the Carolina Hurricanes, who people, like I said, they've just done it. They've never gotten this far.
Yeah.
With Brindamore, you know what I'm saying? As a head coach, as a player, they did.
Yeah, they've obviously won a cup with a player. Brindamore won a cup there.
Yeah, and then so here we are, right? We have these two.
This will be
2 best teams, right? So again, I'll give you who I got. I'm going to take everything that Tortorella has been able to glue together here. Marner's play. And then, like I said, you've got Eichel. You've got Stone. You've got that kid. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. You've got
Dorofiev.
Yeah. You've got Carter Hart. You've got not only the Vegas defense playing very well, but their support cast and Torts' confidence in playing all of them. And they have become and they did it to Colorado, which was a very strong, excellent team all season long. And they made them look like a last place team.
Yeah.
They just and their confidence is out of control. And that power play, forget about it. So, balancing up against a Carolina team, which has a pretty good defensive team, but I'm sorry, I'm still not sold on Freddie Anderson, and I don't know if they have the firepower or the special teams to outmatch Torts in Vegas right now and this ride and how they're playing. So I am going to take the Vegas Knights in 5.
Wow.
And you know what that means? Carolina's going to win the Stanley Cup.
Well, look, I will say I feel like this round, especially if it ends tomorrow night.
Q.
Yeah, Q. This feels like to me, we need to be paid back a little bit. This round is gonna, especially if it ends tomorrow night, it's gonna stink. Both series, 4 games, 5 games, no drama, no nothing. Aside from Buffalo, Montreal, the second round sucked. Although no drama, except Buffalo, Montreal was obviously great going to 7 games. I think we are going to get a tremendous series with these two. I think that this is a great matchup. Styles versus styles. I think that it's going to be a phenomenal series.
I hope so.
I don't think that it will get the kind of ratings that other matchups would have gotten. This will very much test. You know, Denny and a lot of other guys have said that NHL playoff ratings have been riding the wave of the gold medal and all of those things. You get these two more. This is going to really test if people watch or not, with Carolina and with Vegas being in it. I'm taking Vegas in 7. I think it's going to be a great series, back and forth, punch for punch.
I don't think Carolina has that.
I think they do.
I don't think they do.
I think that they're going to get a couple games playing their way, and I think Vegas is going to get a couple games playing their way. I think you're going to see both teams be able to find games where their style is going to work, and it's going to be a back-and-forth series. And I believe you're going to see the road team probably win a bunch in both places, and a road team win Game 7 in Carolina. Vegas in 7 over the Hurricanes.
Wow.
I pick.
Wow.
Will be a great series. Great series.
Well, first of all, Carolina still has to beat Montreal. And if Montreal wins the next game, it kind of extends this a little bit.
Well, that, by the way,
That's
if that
gonna
happens, then we can talk about this Wednesday, because then Game 1 would be Thursday night. Okay? So just understand that. The only way they play Tuesday is if Carolina wins tomorrow. If Montreal extends it to a Game 6, Stanley Cup then does not start till Thursday. So Just let you know that little information for you on that aspect, on the little housekeeping.
I just think this extra rest for Vegas
right.
right now. I think they're gonna take care
Real
of this.
fast. Out the door. Who you got? You ready?
Yes.
Spurs Thunder over tonight.
I'm gonna take the Thunder.
I'm gonna take the Spurs tonight. Thunder on Game 7 on Saturday.
Ooh.
And then we, of course, will be
I
here.
would love a Game 7.
We will be here when, no matter what, who wins.
I don't think it's gonna happen, folks.
We will be here Wednesday afternoon before Game 1 of the Knicks NBA Finals game, getting tuned up for that. So heavy Knicks show. I'm gonna work on getting somebody on Knicks aspect from that afternoon, going in ahead of Game 1, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Absolutely.
Next, who you got? Yankees in Sacramento this weekend against the A's. How many games?
I always say Yankees have to sweep. They have to win. They have to sweep and win.
Yankees win 2 out of 3. Mets home for the Marlins this weekend.
I told you they'll win 1.
I think the Mets will win 2 out of 3 this weekend.
No way.
Yeah, I do. I think the Mets will win 2 out of 3 this weekend. And we gave you the who you got. And I'll give you who you got in the PGA. Can we get Ricky Fowler down at the Colonial this weekend? Can we get Ricky Tommy one time? I want to wear my orange shirt on Sunday in the final round with him in the final pairing. Can we get that? Got the Memorial next week, which is always a big tournament at Jack's place in Ohio. So we have that for the golf.
I got to start warming up.
Wait. Before we go, I'm looking at the clock. We're 2 minutes over, but I didn't get the second Borrelli's in here. One more time. Can you tell everybody what's happening at Borrelli's before we leave, please?
Sure, that's what it's all about. All right. Once again, it's broadcasting live Wednesdays and Thursdays right here from Borrelli's Taproom in 912 West Beach Street in Long Beach, on Long Island, in the great state of New York. It's Thursday, everybody. Start your weekend off right. Yeah, throw Thursday in there for the weekend, all right? It's Carnivore Night. And not only is it Carnivore Night, we got live entertainment now starting every Thursday with Current and Company. So come on down. And if you bring $42.99 with you, you have a choice of steak, pork, or veal. Comes with a super salad, a dessert, and you get bottomless beers and endless wines as well. And that's Carnivore Night. Okay, Friday night tomorrow, we got Logan Wally in at 7 p.m. for live music, and then DJ Frankie Sims for the Friday night dance party. On Saturday, we have Evan Kariga, who's going to be here at 7 p.m., and then DJ Tim Select closes things out with the Saturday night dance party. On Sunday, DJ Tim Select will be here at 7 p.m. for the Sunday Fun Day party, okay? And this is all getting ready for Knicks Championship Series next Wednesday. And don't forget, for all the Knicks games, sound is on, TVs, and we get 2-for-1 pizzas, dollar wings, and just go to the Instagram account for Borrelli's at Borrelli's Long Beach, and you'll see all the bucket specials for the Knicks. They're incredible for all the games. Comedy, Billy Gardell is going to be here June 1st. And then Mark Norman, if you were still didn't get your tickets yet, too late. He sold out on June 2nd. Joe List is going to be here on July 14th. And then Chris DiStefano will be here on August 5th. Get all your tickets for the comedy series at Borrelli'sTaproom.com or go to eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Comedy. And Wednesday, theme nights will be back here next Wednesday. Bruce Juice Night was here last night. Great crowd here at Borrelli's last night for Bruce Springsteen night. And next week, we're going to have a New York State of Mind with the Knicks pregame with some Billy Joel and some top 40 stuff. We're going to mix things a lot of music, live music here next Wednesday.
Before the Knick game.
Before the Knick game,
wow.
Which they said it's going to start at 8:30. So the music and the food and all that stuff.
What a
6
triple
o'clock.
header at Borrelli's
Don't
next
forget,
Wednesday.
On the Wednesday
Go Sports
theme nights.
Radio into Billy Joel into Knicks game 1. That is just
Can't beat it.
look out.
So, and then next week when we're here too, I'll have all the summer Wednesday theme nights will be announced. And more live music, more great stuff. And it's beautiful down here, as you can see on Open Door Thursday, Beer Thursday. Borrelli's is the best. And that's what's going on here at Borrelli's Taproom.
All right.
Borrelli'sTaproom.com.
Everybody have a great weekend. Great job by you, Paulie.
And you, Michael.
We are back Wednesday, as you mentioned, noon East, Go Sports Radio, before Knicks versus NBA Finals, game number 1. Going to be a fun time. Enjoy
Thanks
the
to
weekend.
the crew in the chat room.
Enjoy the weather. Great job by everybody in the chat room today. Lots
Between
of activity.
two ferns.
Between two ferns. Great job by John in the chat box who brought that up. Somebody in the chat brought it up. It was CNC between two ferns. We have it going on today. So
Love it.
Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. We'll see you next week.